All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Speedgaming fans. I'm WXFan21, joined on commentary by Eddie. Eddie, you ready for this lower bracket final?
I am absolutely ready for this lower bracket finals between Osse and Nevdi. Very excited to see this match. Two really strong players. Really excited to see who moves ahead.
In my prediction video, I thought this was going to be the grand final. I thought Nevdi would have beat Zeb and Osse would have ended up just going through the lower bracket. But we get it here in the lower bracket final, so a little bit of early housekeeping before the racers get started. Eddie and I have you covered on commentary for game number 1. Game number 2 is going to be Eddie and Oats and Goats. And then if we get a game number 3, it looks like it's going to be Derp and Oats and Goats as well. So lower bracket final, we got all the commentary teams here for you. So Eddie, what are you going to be looking forward to here early from both of these runners?
Early?
I like Morph Ball at 40 minutes.
Morph Ball at early 40 minutes. Okay, so in a case like that, I do think it may be better if they don't get Morph that late. I think if it was a seed like that, Osse may get a pretty strong advantage. I think Osse, knowing the logic very well with these kind of weird loadouts, would probably get this advantage. I mean, Osse, I think, in my opinion, is the strongest map rando player out there, right? Nevdi is also very strong, having some of the most map rando and map rando experience in general. So either way, it's going to be really exciting, but I do think Osse has a little bit of the edge here. It also helps that he's a developer and knows literally all the logic with everything, pretty much.
He's kind of got that built-in advantage.
It's kind of unfair because, you know, there's the thing where maybe you're part of the dev team and maybe you don't speedrun it as much, but Osse is also a very strong speedrunner, especially in these weird kind of really good at RB and that kind of stuff.
Yep, here we go. Osse with the Among Us sprite. He does this with every single one. The only time I've ever seen him use a regular sprite was against you, Eddie, in game 3. Otherwise, he uses all of these random sprites.
Did he actually use the regular sprite against me?
He did. Use the regular one. Hey, I wanted Morph in 40 minutes, not in 30 seconds.
Okay, I was gonna say, a little speedrunning tech from Osse, getting the D boost there instead. Both players should know how to do that, but yeah, take that Morph, get that first item right on the bottom left. That's definitely what I would do as well.
Yep. Ooh, power bombs. Okay.
Yep. Take a wild guess where we're taking that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Back to the gauntlet we go. We could check the left door. I think that's fine. I would probably check it. But yeah, they're typically gonna take us straight to the gauntlet.
And if you could peek the item in. Okay, so Wreck Ship has Fantoon again.
What a surprise. Yep. You know, he's not hiding in the cubby, though.
Nope.
I'd be peeking that. Oh, Spring Ball, I believe. So peeking that little item. I think that, so Osse knows how to peek that as well, but I don't think you have to peek it. Because almost certainly you're going to end up getting that item, but there are some instances where being able to peek that item is going to be helpful. So Osse taking that save, and Nevdi is going to take the save, and Nevdi is going to go straight to the right. He doesn't want to get caught in a situation where the filler E-tank might be on the right side, so Nevdi is just going to peek that on the right. I think that's fine if you want to do it. I would probably follow what Osse's doing right now, but
yeah, I was going to peek the right door, and it is a missile door, so it's not going to make too much of a difference here.
Yep.
So we know Invisible Road is going to connect us here back to the Wreck Ship, West Ocean, rather. So if you just new to map rando, one thing we've seen a lot throughout this tournament through a lot of hard seeds, West Ocean has been a very frequent connector on the left-hand side of the landing site. So this is kind of no surprise here. So entering where the racers are going to be entering, though, is a bit of a surprise. We don't normally see it through the cubby hole.
Yep.
And now we get to take a 15-minute nap while Osse goes and collects sky missiles.
A little Morph icon you can't even see in the vent now, so you can't even see the
line.
No Amogus. Where'd he go? Why did Nevdi reset there?
I don't. Did he get? Why? Oh, super.
That I think was quite literally a mistake. I think he kind of muscle memoried that. I don't know why he did that. Because he's going straight back there. Perhaps he was missing a No, I think he literally
No,
just
they have the
misclicked.
same items.
Yeah, I think he literally just misclicked. I'm trying to think of like why he would have done that. I think he saw that muscle memoried and just was like, let's just reset because we can't get up there. And he's like, wait, I do have power bombs. I'm stupid. I think that's what he was thinking. That's probably literally what went through his head right there. So just a little bit as a straight advantage for Osse right now. Went ahead, got the filler E-tank. And we know where Fantoon is at this point because we checked the other right door, which had the filler E-tank. The top right door is what should have Fantoon. Osse does not want to do an all super fight. It's really slow.
Yeah,
so,
it's slow and long, and against someone like Nevdi, like it's just it's not something you can afford. So the super is logically going to get you to that right side door.
Yep.
Which does make a lot of sense here. Nevdi's going to pick up his supers. We have seen, though, some racers go ahead and do a super missile only fight. It is so incredibly slow because every time you hit Fantoon with a super missile, it doesn't kill him.
Yes.
He goes into a state of rage, and it's a 15-20 second minimum per stage. And with all you got is supers, no.
Yep. Oh, nice little spring ball jump to get to the top of Red Tower, which is currently the logic. Note that in hard difficulty, the wall jump spring ball tech, the spring wall tech is not actually in logic, so specifically you do just a normal standing wall jump there. Yep. And it looks like Osse's going to look into taking, so the only left caution door is going to be the Yoink room. Yep. So there is you could debate maybe jump, yeah, I think you could debate jumping down there for a potential item. It just depends on the map layout. No, I don't think so, actually. Yeah, I don't think so. None of the items should be in logic in hard difficulty, so gotta go up.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's probably one of the sand pits. Because you're gonna have those two squares in between before you can get to that bottom door there. Oh, it can't be sand pit.
Nope, yeah, no space. So even the sand pits without high jump, the left item you could get with spring ball, but it wouldn't be in logic and hard because the jump is actually very tight. So you would want to cheese it if you could get a missile out of it, because then you can go kill Fantoon, take care of that. Because right now they're just kind of desperately looking for a missile. Yeah, that's kind of the case right now. So Osse is going to scout out these items up here. Nevdi is just kind of following behind, but Osse's execution right now is definitely a lot cleaner right now.
Absolutely. We saw one missile, and it's a missile and X-ray.
Missile and X-ray, okay.
And grapple.
Okay.
One energy tank, missile, grapple at the end of gauntlet. Can you do screw attack room on one energy tank in hard difficulty?
I believe you can. Yes, you can. So this should be enough as long as you have full health. But you need a farm room on the other side. So that is what the grapple's for. It's not almost certainly not for like something like Everest, which is what you would typically think. I mean, it could be, but the grapple is probably for that hell run down there.
Would make sense. Osse's selected to go north though, so he's gonna go past the room.
Yep. I do think it makes sense to just go north over there, and Nevdi's gonna trade a super for some power bombs right there. Yes, missile and X-ray. Okay, so the missile actually is really important just so that they can get that map. Crack save room to confirm that this is indeed has Fantoon in the area, even though we already knew that.
Nevdi's gonna get a save. So Osse has a tad bit more map info. Oh, look how far away that map is in Meridian. Yikes.
Where was the Meridian entrance?
Bottom right here, Red Tower, I believe.
Okay. Got it.
So Nevdi elects to also go backwards. Elected to not go after that one missile and X-ray. Can't say I blame him.
If I were Nevdi right there, I probably would have busted out my grapple and just like farmed everything in there, because you don't really know what's going to be at the top of this.
Yep.
I want to say that's something he would typically do. Both players missing the PRKD Red Tower strat, so. And you know what? Another instant use case for our grapple. It looks like there's a decent chance progression is going to be at the bottom right of Everest. That's going to be the heated room that is a one-way that typically has the jail power bombs in LN. So I think Osse is going to go straight there first. But yeah, all of Everest is very, very realistic as a possibility right now.
Yep. So gravity jumping is in logic and hard settings.
This bottom right one is the gravity jump that is in logic, but you can just exit out the bottom left here. But yeah, Osse's going to continue up and probably explore. With the 5 missiles, I wonder if he's going to want to keep exploring or if he's going to go back and kill Fantoon. I kind of feel like you might as well explore a little bit maybe and just see if you can snag another missile, but I don't think you want to go too far at this point. So
I would agree with that.
He's going to go through this yoink room.
And obviously, there's nothing stopping any racer from using super advanced level tech or tricks, even though it's not in quote-unquote logic. There's nothing stopping you. But, ooh, nice high jump. It's not logical. So if you do, let's say, an extreme level trick that you just know of, but it's an extreme logic, you're going to be doing things out of logic from where the scene wants you to go. And if you do that a little too much, then you can find yourself a little out of sorts.
I can only be so critical of Osse because he's playing so well right now, but I would have probably knocked across so that I can grab this item and not have to reset the room, and then grab the high jump boost and then
Eddie, you have free to mock the person that beat you in the semis. It's
Oh,
okay.
trust me. I give both of these players enough crap as it is, so I gotta be nice to them occasionally.
I love it.
Oh, Osse, you going for that reverse mode. That's actually really difficult. It's a hundo strat, but yeah, almost got it. Pretty close.
Osse almost got squashed. So, again, folks, if you're just tuning in, I'm WXFan21. I'm here with Eddie on commentary. Lunatic Moth is our tracker for all 3 games. We have Eddie and Oats and Goats on comms for game 2, and Derp and Oats on comms for game 3. Multiple commentary teams. This is the lower bracket final. Winner of this best of 3 goes on to face Zeb316 in the grand finals. And Eddie, we are seeing that that quick reset from Nevdi really showing now in terms of, you know, how far he's behind.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. This is just like when you make mistakes like that against someone like Osse, you're like, oh god, I'm gonna lose, right? Because Osse's done everything very cleanly, except he just
except that mark ball.
This is getting a little sketchy for him, but yeah, Nevdi hasn't really done. His routing has been completely fine, basically, right? But he took that little reset, but it's not just that. Like, Nevdi's made some mistakes. He had some trouble getting the spring ball jump out of Red Tower. And, you know, Osse's just nailing that instantly, everything instantly, right? So this is just kind of like a time loss versus someone that's really, really good. But, you know, if you're playing against someone weaker, I don't think Nevdi feels too bad. I think Nevdi's going to go straight back down to Fantoon at this point. We'll see if he does that, because that's exactly what I would do. I'm surprised Osse's actually exploring so much right now when he's leaving behind the boss. No, Nevdi wants to keep going. Okay. Interesting. Huh. At this point with the missiles, I kind of feel like I would just go fight Fantoon.
I agree with you.
But it's not really a big deal. But
I'm really wondering if this is even in logic the way Eddie's had to, Osse's had to go through these rooms here, Eddie.
Yeah, no, Osse's actually good. He's got high jump, he's got spring, he's got like everything. He can basically traverse everything.
Right.
There's just a few things that like any double spring ball jumps would be out of logic, but everything that he's doing right now is completely fine. What did he just find there a second ago? Is that baby? I heard the music.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Baby skip. I wonder if Nevdi at all is going to take any kind of risks. Knowing he had that whoopsie reset, I wonder if he takes any kind of risks here. Because this pathing very early has been linear. The racers are being literally told to go only a certain way. So I wonder if he takes any kind of risks later on.
Right now, I don't think he will. I know Nevdi probably feels like he's behind, which is the case. I think it's fair to believe that, but it's not enough where you would drastically change your game plan here, I think. So, you know, if Nevdi plays solid from here on out, I think he'll feel pretty decent about it. But yeah, maybe I'm missing something, but I kind of feel like I would have. Yeah, okay, so Nevdi's going to go back and take care of that Fantoon fight.
This is smart.
I don't think there was really that much left to do in criteria, but when you have, you know, 10 missiles, you're effectively going to kind of clear Fantoon as fast as you ever will. So yeah.
Yep.
Osse's gonna do a little bit of UWJ.
Yep. Underwater wall jumping.
only have to do like 2 or 3. Looks like he gave up and he's just gonna spring ball jump it. The typical way to do it here. Okay. I am a little surprised though that Osse is opting to explore when he does have to backtrack for the inevitable Fantoon kill. So
we have seen before how map knowledge can pay off for any racer. Even though it's like, oh, well, we should be going back. The map knowledge can be crucial, but now this is not what I want to see from Osse.
It can be, but I mean, at this point, like, Osse's committed to just kind of exploring and coming back later. I just find it a little bit interesting that he's abandoning the boss that he has to take care of when there's not much that he can get that'll beat up that boss fight. You know, like, obviously you could find like charged plasma or, you know, you could x-ray it, but
okay. West Kakali back to Main Street. So Osse's gonna go pick up another super pack. It's time for the Fantoon fight for Nevdi. It should be noted, Nevdi did not pick up high jump, at least that I can tell.
Yes. So Nevdi's kind of doing what I was thinking mainly. Regardless of finding high jump or not, right? He's gonna find it when he gets back. The moment Nevdi got a few missiles, he's like, it's time to leave. Let's just kill Fantoon, and then we'll come back and explore. Ooh, nice air Doppler. Let's see if we can get a 2-round. That'd be pretty sick. Another slow pattern. So as Nevdi takes care of this fight, Osse's gonna keep exploring, but yeah, it looks like Osse might be ahead, but Osse has to come back for all this. For this kill.
Okay.
So what is Osse gonna find here?
Ooh, major. Baser. I was gonna say gravity would make a lot of sense, but this map knowledge for Nevdi is gonna be huge. Beautiful finish of Fantoon from Nevdi.
Yeah, solid 2-round. That's a good one. Fast slow, I believe.
Absolutely.
Okay, and Osse is checking no for. I didn't get to see exactly where the map is right now, but he is just checking some of these doors. Pretty reasonable when you're in a big area like this. Probably wants to find a save at this point. So he's just gonna check all these doors real quick. Looks like he's not too happy with the current turn of events. I'm sure he's got Fantoon on his mind, unless he literally forgot about it. I'm sure it's kind of on his mind right now. Let's see this map for Nevdi.
This could prove to be big.
It might have already been mostly cleared out.
Double major. So okay, so that other major might be gravity, because we know one of those majors is X-ray, I think.
Yeah, so this is where things get a little bit spicy, right? Because one of them was X-ray, and the other... Okay, so Nevdi actually can't get that item right now. I believe it was Precious Room. Osse could have. So I think what's going to happen right here is Nevdi is... If Nevdi were to attempt to get those majors, it would be a mistake right now because he can't get them. But the moment he finds high jump boots, I think we're going to see Nevdi turn around and go back to criteria, because there is a major here that Osse is unaware about. Unaware of.
So in order to do Precious Room, you need high jump and spring ball, correct?
Yes, high jump and spring ball is enough to do with Precious, so it does become in logic the moment that they get that high jump. And I think Nevdi is like, okay, well, I just have to go back for that major, and he's gonna get that. He's gonna get high jump like now. So it's a little bit different for Osse because
Osse's in the wreck ship now.
Yeah, Osse's
way over there.
So much. Now, let's keep in mind, it's not like Osse's like losing time or anything like that right now. But the time it took for him to traverse, let's say like Main Street and stuff like that, and we got Bryn, a lot of connectors over here.
Yeah, so Norfair, Bryn, Torian, and double major. So we get a major above Osse and then the wall major at Mama Turtle.
Yes.
Gonna be pretty good here. So Nevdi's gonna go find that high jump.
This is going to be kind of a pivotal moment because Nevdi's going to have a major that Osse doesn't have. Nevdi's a little bit behind due to execution, but the moment he gets this, the moment that he gets the, is Nevdi even going the right way? Did he check the right door? What was it?
Charge beam for Osse.
Charge beam. Okay, so
now Nevdi's,
Nevdi's kind of not going in a good direction. He's currently out of logic. He doesn't have the high jump, right? If he doesn't have the high jump, he's not in logic right now.
Correct. He doesn't. I don't know if he has high jump. Twitch chat can correct us if we're wrong, but I don't believe he has high jump yet. I've not seen him enter that room to get there. So what is the second wreck ship major? Plasma. So Osse now has 450 damage with a charge beam. Massive.
Yeah, Nevdi, I think it's the top right of Everest that Nevdi has to go to. So he's going to be doing all this a little bit slowly, and then he has to spring ball jump up here, which is currently not in logic for him, but he can do it.
Right. And there's baby room. Oh boy. So this is something we haven't seen yet. We have not seen any racer go past baby skip room.
Yes.
So this is uncharted territory, and immediate reset for Nevdi.
Yep. Okay, so I mean, it looks like Osse's getting really far ahead, right? And it seems like that, but remember that Osse does have to go back speed booster. Okay. There is a crucial thing that can happen right now where Nevdi is going to that Nevdi could get a big advantage on. And what that is if that pressure stream major is something that's very significant, let's say the suit, right? Oh, Nevdi, he's gonna reset. That's okay. That's just a little bit of time loss. Nevdi's probably not too happy about this current execution, making a lot of mistakes. Against a player like Osse, you're definitely feeling like, oh, this is getting really bad, right?
It was already tough and bad to begin with the first whoopsie reset of the beginning of the seed, and not good at all.
Yep. But here's the thing: the moment that Nevdi finds the high jump boots, I think he's going to go back to criteria and get the major and precious, which Osse is not aware about. If that's a significant major, that can completely turn the tide of this match right now.
Agreed.
And Nevdi, once again, he's not as far back as it looks like, right? Because he is a little bit far back because of execution, but Osse still hasn't gone back to criteria to take care of the boss that he has to. So
it's factually correct. So there you go, Nevdi. Now you're headed the right way.
Yep, Osse did run into this one earlier, so that did suck a little bit. But I think ultimately they both kind of ran into that baby and turned around. So I don't think so far he's lost too much time right here. And yeah, Nevdi's going to be a little bit more efficient, like I said.
Nevdi at least listen to Eddie.
Yep. Going to go ahead and grab this missile and the high jump on the same go. No extra door transition.
Osse finds, oh my gosh, it is not a suit. Osse just found a gravity suit.
Uh-oh, gravity suit. Okay, so that's pretty significant.
Could still be Varia. Could still be Varia suit.
Yep. Oh, and gravity's not going to help him for that Ridley fight right there. So there's a lot. Like, okay.
We should.
If Nevdi finds Varia at precious room in criteria, that's going to be. That could be like almost game winning, but Nevdi's making a lot of execution mistakes. Tried to get that mock ball, kind of wasn't able to get it. So he's heading over to the right. I don't know, was there something there, or is he just kind of blind checking this room while he can because he's close to it, or is the map in this direction? I can't remember exactly.
So the map is all the way to the east. I'm already like northeast. It is way over there.
Okay. He doesn't really want to do it. I think he's gonna go ahead and turn back. Yeah. Now let's see. Here. Is he going to go back to criteria for the major?
I would.
Which is, I think, a little bit difficult to get on one E-Tank. It kind of depends on what was in the middle of the room of screw attack, because he's going to have to lay a power bomb and then do essentially a spring ball jump. But if he's running along the top here, we'll see if that's the case. I do think that is going to be kind of important. No, and he is going to go up. So abandoning that major, it looks like. All right.
So this is where gravity and speed booster make things easy for Osse. Aqueduct is going to be an energy tank and a missile. All right. Folks, make sure you give these runners a follow if you're not already. Exclamation point R on the Twitch chat to do that. Give the commentary and tracking team a follow as well if you want. Exclamation point C to do that. And again, this is...
Now picking up a few more E-Tanks. I was going to say he's definitely just looking for Varia here. Oh, let's see if he gets his Indiana Jones. Oh, okay. What an expert level technique. But yeah, Osse now with the 5 E-Tanks. One more tank would be able to, beat the game by physically surviving the Rainbow Beam attack. But not quite at the resources you'd want to be able to kill Ridley. So there is a chance that if he runs into a few more tanks or whatnot, he would.
That's huge. We just got the Meridian map from Osse, from the other entrance from Norfair, so there's nothing left for Osse to get. That is major map knowledge. And with that, I think now Osse is supremely in the lead.
I mean, Osse still has to do. Osse's been ahead of this whole time, essentially, right?
Right.
And you know, we obviously don't know. Nevdi doesn't know what's going on with Osse, but like, you know, if we were to have known what, if Nevdi knew that like Osse kind of like abandoned the Pantoon fight and went the other one, then I think a way you get the advantage is to go and grab that major potentially, because that's something that Osse cannot do. But that's not the case. Nevdi's just going to keep going ahead. So in this
Eddie, would you have gone back for those criteria majors knowing one is X-ray?
I think I would have, just for like, because I'm as close as I'm ever going to be to that one major, and as of right now, you don't really have too much, right? So I think I probably would have gone back for it, but at this point, Nevdi can't do that, and now it kind of sucks because now Nevdi's kind of playing Osse's route, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
And Osse has to go back. Let's say they need that Varia, which may not end up happening. Osse has to go back for that Fantoon fight, and then if he wants, can then pick up the major. But at this point, Nevdi has no reason to really ever go back. So Nevdi's pretty much abandoning all that.
Look at Osse. This is just picture perfect, baby. Skip and gets it. The relief on Osse's face.
He may not have wanted to actually. What is that? He might have had some trouble because of the crewmate skin, but it worked perfectly fine for him. Yeah, so right now, as of right now, execution and route right now is definitely in favor of Osse. Currently behind the Fantoon kill, but yeah, look at all this, just kind of speeding all this through. It's going really well.
And here we go, Osse heading back to criteria.
Sparking across.
Whee!
Sometimes you don't want to do this to conserve your health, but Osse knows he's going back to the ship.
Yep.
Nevdi is running around Norfair.
And we'll see if Osse elects to get those majors. Again, Osse and Nevdi both know about the X-ray visor and missile at the back end of Gauntlet in the Green Pirate room.
Yeah, with Osse's resources and the speed plus high jump, he's almost certainly going to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And gravity to get through pressures with no problem.
Yeah, actually, definitely. Yeah, the X-ray actually would be helpful. It would speed up the Dragon fight as well. You'd be able to microwave with the current loadout.
Alright. As Osse heads back to Fantoon and Nevdi's just cleaning things up, Eddie, let's just talk about the tournament overall here real quick. As someone who ended up in 4th place, who did end up losing to Osse, go watch the best of 3, folks. From my point of view, because I've had a chance to do a ridiculous amount of commentary for this tournament,
yep,
I think the tournament has been nothing short of a massive success.
Oh,
Twitch chat, I'm sure can attest to that. So, from your point of view as a runner and being able to do commentary at times too, how do you think the tournament's gone? Because I think, like I said, nothing short of a massive success.
Oh, incredibly well, incredibly well. I think one of the main concerns about Map Rando before people started competing and racing in it, because Map Rando was more of like a casual thing for a little bit, right? And then, you know, all of us sweaty runners decided we were going to try racing it. I think the biggest concern was like, okay, given that the world is just so randomized and everything else, how is the balance going to be? Is it really going to be like a competitive rando, or is it going to be like a total crapshoot, right? Yep. And then we started racing it, and we're like, wow, you know, we're getting some pretty close times. And that was the main concern, right? So after kind of realizing, yes, it does work very well competitively, I would say with the tournament and how it worked out and how the people that are typically considered the better players, I think, did kind of finish towards the top, right? I think it just goes to show that this is a very good mode to actually race. And a lot of fun.
But you think of just when we got to, you know, qualifiers aside, we get to the first round of the upper bracket, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the upsets we had in the upper bracket on game 1. Andy was out. There were like so many others, and then Andy ended up running all the way until I think he met. It was either you or Osse. He met somebody. It was Osse. It's just like you can still have that here from an excitement and viewer standpoint as Nevdi gets charge beam. It's so exciting to watch. I mean, like when you see, for example, at the 90% tournament going on, right? Like, not a surprise who the top 3 are, right? No surprise there. But here in a randomizer, anything can happen, and we've seen it time and time again this entire tournament. We've seen strats pulled out. We've seen a bunch of different things, and the exposure that Map Rando has gotten, I think, has been absolutely huge.
Definitely, yeah. Map Rando has been really exciting. It's been amazing. It's actually had more widespread appeal than just as a rando, people outside of the Super Metro community have been trying it out. You know, I mean, Andy's from Link to the Past, though has a lot of SM experience, but got really addicted to it, even though Link to the Past is his main game. So it's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, we have over 300 people live watching this right now, with other stuff going on Speedgaming channels. It's a Friday night. People could be going out. It just goes to show the appeal of how incredible this Map Rando tournament is. I think the sky's the absolute limit. So now we get back to the game. Osse's checking out maps. He's hanging out on Meridia. Nevdi doing the same thing we saw Osse do about 10 minutes ago when Osse was in the wreck ship. Checking out where they are, looking at, obviously, wreck ship being the hub in this particular race. Where is Nevdi's mind at right now?
This is a little interesting. So I maybe I missed it, but I think Osse kind of had a little scowl when he saw the major in criteria. I think he opted to ignore it. I don't think he actually picked it up, right? So he chose to abandon it, perhaps thinking, you know, if my opponent came back to kill Fantoon, which is maybe kind of the standard play after getting a few missiles, and then grabbing that, then I'm behind. So I'm going to make the play of just ignoring it altogether. Perhaps that's the case. I think Osse had to think about this because Ridley is here. I don't believe they found Mother Brain, so we're in a situation where we do need to figure out a way to kill Ridley as soon as possible. If we continue forward without killing this Ridley, then every step we go forward is another step we have to backtrack for, right? So Osse having 5 tanks, 15 supers, charged plasma, is kind of thinking, maybe perhaps thinking right now, like, what is my solution to kill Ridley here? Am I gonna major hunt after, you know, intentionally abandoning? Yeah, I think he's in a little bit of turmoil. So yeah, he did abandon a major, and he knows
he abandoned gravity. He abandoned gravity, arguably the most important major. But Nevdi just beautiful gravity jump through fish tank, just making it look effortless. I'd expect nothing less from the #1 seed in the tournament. I believe Osse's the number 5 seed.
I don't remember.
4 or 5. No, Oche was 4. I think Osse's 5. Either way, this is absolutely insane. And again, folks, this is the lower bracket finals. This is Osse Nevdi Game 1, Game 2 up next with Eddie and Oates on commentary. Game 3, should we need it, has the fantastic dulcet tones of TG Derp and Oates as well. And Lunatic Moth is tracking all 3 games. So gonna be a ton of fun here. Take it away, Eddie.
This is getting a little bit crazy because Osse went to find the double hollows on the left and got 1 E-tank, but 2 power bomb packs. He's trying to figure out his current solution for Ridley, and I think he's not feeling good about it because he was kind of hoping like, okay, maybe I'll get like a reserve and an E-tank and a super, and then we're getting really close to being able to maybe do that Ridley, or maybe I can do that Ridley, right? But I think he willingly abandoned a major in criteria, right?
Yep.
Unfortunately for, you know, Nevdi, I mean, we don't know what that major is, right? But like, it could be Varia. There's no reason it couldn't be, right?
Exactly.
Nevdi is basically not going back for it because he's not going back to criteria. So it's hard to kind of see a path for Nevdi right now. Did you say that Nevdi abandoned gravity somewhere? Was there a gravity that...
So gravity is in where Spooky Missiles is, in the wrecked ship main shaft, and that was back in wrecked ship.
Okay, so yeah, if Nevdi doesn't find that soon, look at all these water rooms he's going through. It's getting kind of slow.
It was either wrecked ship or Norfair, but either way, Nevdi abandoned it completely. Would have made this a lot easier, and Osse's just going to go through fish tank here as normal. and should now have absolutely no problem reaching that map.
Okay, yeah. So unfortunately, like every decision that Nevdi is currently making, while completely reasonable. Okay, so here's the.
It is Norfair, okay. So gravity's in Norfair.
Okay, yeah. So Nevdi's going back to Norfair. I wonder if there's a chance that Nevdi actually ends up going back. Ooh, Osse taking a hit on the key hunter. This is a kind of a spicy hell run. Wants to get to that map. I think Nevdi was not able to get that earlier. So, oh god, GT.
No!
Okay, what's to the left here for Osse? He's got a crystal flash. He has a crystal flash to use. Okay, more heat. Looks like he'll be able to get to that map. Don't know when his last save was.
It's not like Osse doesn't have the energy.
Oh,
Hi, Crane!
Okay, all right. Well, that's gonna make him feel a little bit better, but the path down is gonna be a little spooky.
Just a little bit. Oh, Osse's invisible again. Ah, there he is.
Okay, so no crystal flash option. Let's see, get a super back here. Okay, got the super back.
Osse needs to be extremely careful, because when was the last time he saved?
I'm not really sure.
Jack Tool has a major. Retro Bryn has a major.
I think
So
I saw two majors on the right. Yeah, dude. So Osse's definitely going for those.
He needs to, again, needs to be careful. So F Junk making a good point, saying I think his last save was on the wreck ship. So really interesting here. I kind of think you want this hollow dot to be an energy tank if you're Osse.
I think Osse's looking for a reason to not collect those majors. That's what it looks like to me right now. Because he definitely could run over and grab them.
We've seen plenty of seeds where logic wants you to get something. Say, for example, it's a suit, right? And a suit can be so far out of the way. Nevdi finally getting gravity. Probably having some very choice words for the camera.
25 supers. 25 supers. Now, he's going to grab it. What Osse really wants is a reserve. The moment he gets a reserve, he's just going to kind of ignore everything, and then he's just going to go beat the game. That's the attempt here.
There's the energy tank Osse needed.
It's an E-tank. It's not a reserve. The reserve is definitely better in this situation. It's basically like, how can I kill Ridley, right? And the reserve helps because you can keep 100 in that reserve, and then you could be dead during the entire cutscene animation. But 7 tanks, 45-25, a little spicy.
Yep, and we know the charge plasma combo only does 450 damage, so it's not like you have ice to get you the ice and wave to get you up to that 900.
Yep. But yeah, you know what? I will say something I really
There's your reserve tank.
I do like how Osse played this. There's ways where you can. Osse decided. He basically made the decision to say, I'm going ammo here. I think after he saw the major and criteria, he thought about it. He's like, I'm going to commit to doing ammo at this point on. And so we see 2 majors over there on the right? And because he ignored a few of those majors earlier, what that means is the value of those majors for him are not as good as, someone that may have found more of those majors. In Nevdi's case, I think and Nevdi is very heavily like, I don't like to play ammo, so we're probably going to see him grab more majors.
Yep.
But right now, I mean, Osse's basically in go mode, just has to find Mother Brain. I don't know if we saw Mother Brain right now, but yeah, Osse's going to go ahead and go take care of that.
We have not found Mother Brain yet. Mother Brain and Dragon are probably in Bryn Starts, the last area we haven't seen yet. Have we seen this major here behind Shack Tool?
I don't think so, actually.
If this
We're about
is
to find out
Mario,
what it is.
Bomb Terizo, Wave Beam.
He has to collect
Big
that.
item.
He has
Big
to collect
item.
that. Yeah.
That's
Wave adds a lot of
750.
DPS and makes Ridley fights like a lot more realistic to build to do.
That does what now? I think it's 750 is the total calculation without ice?
Yes,
or 750.
Ice does 900. So 750. Basically, if you're fighting Ridley, it's 24 shots. Mother Brain also 24 shots with this beam combo. So Nevdi with if he gets 2 more tanks in a reserve, I think could definitely do this fight with this beam combo.
Someone in chat's hungry. Wants a little bomb chorizo. You can get that at your local Federation headquarters.
Oh man, so unfortunately, it just feels like
Bad joke.
Nevdi and
I'm sorry.
Osse are almost
Nice high
kind of
fives.
doing the same thing, but Osse's just made so much ground in a short period of time. It's just unfortunate because Osse found, you know, that gravity and whatnot, and Nevdi just did like a ton of these like rooms without without that gravity, so lost so much time in that process.
Yep. Still, it's never over till it's over.
Nope,
No, Osse
definitely
at this
not.
point is gonna be very comfortably fighting Ridley.
Yeah, this fight, I mean, you could definitely still die, even with these resources, because you know Ridley could just always give you bad patterns. You could die with a lot of good resources, but this is going to be pretty comfortable for someone like Osse. All right, let's see it.
Osse should have no problem with the fight, but again, I don't know when the last time he saved was. So it's time to fight Ridley. 25 supers. It takes 30 supers to defeat Ridley without charge beam damage. Osse just massively looking so good right now. And it started look at the pattern Osse's getting, Eddie.
Yep, in this case,
lot of
all
pogos.
pogos are really good here. In the ass. Oh, he might have missed that.
Osse.
He missed the super. He missed the super.
Oh
my gosh, he's safe. He's
He
safe.
almost got tail whipped.
And Ridley's not dead.
Osse. No!
Not dead. How much progress did he just lose right there?
A lot of progress.
How much progress?
Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh, he's down
When
2
was that
supers. He's
save?
down the reserve. He's down an E-tank. That is an incredible amount of time. Now, keep in mind, Osse was very significantly ahead. Was very significantly ahead. I mean, still has like 3 tanks. Got like a map on. Has a map on Nevdi, but oh my gosh, that's a devastating loss. Lost the Kraid kill where
he's
the map
down
was.
Kraid too.
He
Yeah.
lost so much time right there.
Wait a minute. Why, chat? Why are you blaming me?
Wow.
This is hashtag good content. Come on now.
This is getting kind of crazy.
Nevdi maybe sees light at the end of the tunnel.
I don't really. So Nevdi did so much stuff without this gravity that was really. It was about as bad as it can get in terms of like how hard you get punished for not getting that gravity, right?
Why is Osse back in Torian?
I think Turian had Kraid, I believe, so he has to get the Kraid kill again. It was right in front of the map, so he doesn't have a choice. Has to do that. Also has to retrieve the resources that he got earlier. So he's not gonna go collect the majors. He's gonna collect the minors that he had again, and he's gonna probably do the fight. Nope, he's going straight for the majors this time. Changed his mind, decided that the collection was too slow. He's like, let's go find the majors this time.
Chad, it's like I've said this entire tournament, save early, save often.
I mean, that's the thing with Ridley, right? Like, you miss a super, you kind of miss something, gets miscalculated, and a fight that looks comfy enough, especially for someone like Osse, who has a sub-hour RBO, one of the few people in the world that has a sub-hour RBO, right? That's his jam. Fighting Ridley with like that kind of resources in heat, that's literally his specialty. And yet something went wrong, right? That's just how it is. So
we talked about the patterns. We talked about, like, again, like, if you were to tell us, like, oh, Osse's getting double pogos at the early, missed it all, and then all of a sudden missing 1 super, and then you get these stupid Ridley patterns, and again, no Varia suit. Is this Varia? It's space.
He's feeling sick. He is feeling, because he's
like, you know what? Let's just go happy.
Let's just go collect the majors, see if we can get Varia so I don't have to go on a collection spree and getting my 2 supers, my 2 tanks, and my reserve that I got before, right? And so rather than doing the thing that was his win condition before, he's changing it up, hoping maybe I can spike a quick Varia and save some time. No, he just got bombs and space jump, basically useless for him. So he's feeling, I can tell you right now, he's feeling kind of sick to his stomach. Like, this is not what was supposed to happen. This is really not looking good. But
3 majors we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen Ice, Varia, or Screw Attack.
Yep.
We know there's 1 major left in criteria. You and I have talked about it for the last 25 minutes. What is that major up in Precious Room, right by where you can get X-Ray?
I don't know.
If it's Varia, this is completely different.
Let's just assume it's screw attack or something. Man, I can't imagine if you're Nevdi. I don't. It's a little hard to keep track with what exactly happened. Obviously, by kind of doing all those water rooms and then seeing that the gravity was kind of right there, you feel like kind of bad about that.
Yep.
But at the same time, like I don't know if Nevdi necessarily feels like he's doomed or anything. I'm sure he doesn't feel good about the execution mistakes he's made, but Osse has to feel like pretty sick to his stomach with what the choices that he made just now. Like he's got to feel not good.
Like when you take that death there to Ridley, it's having that feeling of I just lost game 1.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what he's gonna feel.
Again, Nevdi's the #1 seed in this tournament. Osse is the #5 seed, and Zeb, the #3 seed's already waiting in the grand final for any one of this. Zeb right now, Eddie, I can neither confirm nor deny this, but Zeb probably hanging out on some beach somewhere, has a nice frosty beverage in his hand, watching this on his phone and just laughing. This is gonna be an easy final.
I'm sure that's exactly what he's thinking. I'm gonna be honest, he's probably thinking that about Nevdi and probably not about Osse, because that's pretty typical Zeb right there. All right, well,
all kidding
30
aside,
supers this time.
Yeah, Osse right back. 30 supers, 7 energy tanks, and the reserve tank. So, should be a much better Ridley fight here. And again, even with that death, Eddie, that Osse took, Nevdi still hasn't gone to Kraid. Still running around on Norfair. Now in Hoda Ruby room grabbing yet another one, and he's only got 15 supers. And still no Varia.
So what Nevdi is really hunting for right now is quite literally just the reserve tank. He feels sick seeing that power bomb. Because with charge wave plasma and 15 supers, that's 12 shots and all your supers. And Nevdi's thinking like, I gotta kill this Ridley now, right?
Yep.
So he's kind of feeling that same pressure. So he's looking for a few hollows, and he's gonna commit to probably finishing this Varia list if he can, because he got the requisite health to kill that mother brain. But also, yeah, I mean, he's just kind of not making that much progress right now. Once he kills Ridley, things are going to progress pretty quickly. But oh man, Osse's just
Nevdi's gone into Bryn. Nevdi has the mother brain and Dragon knowledge, knows how close they are. Mother brain, I only got a brief look at the Bryn map, was right by one of those triple Bryn star entrances.
Yep.
So Osse knows by process of elimination that those other bosses are in Bryn star.
Yep.
But still, it's like, okay, you're all in a Torian to be Kraid. And you already had to backtrack to go beat Fantoon back in Torian because you were off map exploring for 15 minutes. So this is just...
Oh my gosh, he's going for it. This looks
okay.
Really...
I
don't even know. Okay,
I'm
well,
switching this on and I'm staying silent. Let's go. All right, Nevdi. Music's on you. Let's go.
I think it's already over, I think. Like, you can't miss anything, I think, on this fight. Does he have a save? This is just way too tight.
Nevdi did save. Nevdi has a recent Norfair save. He's red. Nevdi can't afford damage. He got bombed.
Not a good hit.
He gets grabbed. He's got 116. I don't think he can get out. He needs the energy. He needs it right now. It has to be above him. He's gonna pause abuse.
Way too early.
No,
he had that. He paused too early. He paused. Wait. He panicked. He had that if he paused a little bit later.
Ridley destroys both runners in this game. I don't know what more you could want, folks, out of a game 1 in a lower bracket final than this. Let's go.
Okay, well, I mean, he knows he can do it now, so he's gonna go for it again. he's going for it until he dies, basically, until the game's over. So, all right, well, that's a tight fight. He did miss a few charge shots, so as long as the fight's and he took a hit, so he definitely can do this for sure. but man, like, it's just tough. All right, well, Osse on the fight with much better resources, double the supers, extra additional tanks. Let's see it from both players. Oh, back Pogo for Osse.
Gee, that sounds familiar. But that's the fight Osse wanted to have the first time.
Okay, wait, Nevdi's fight looking good. Maybe another Pogo. Oh, that's 2 supers missed. Okay.
And a charge shot miss. Nevdi,
took a hit. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yep.
So Nevdi is committing to this Ridley fight. He's just committing. Yep.
And they still have to find Dragon, I believe. At this point, I don't know exactly. I've been definitely at this point, I've been kind of looking more at Nevdi because Nevdi was the one that's kind of behind and had to look for. We have to find ways for Nevdi to like kind of come back to this one, right? Was Dre just in Brinstar with Motherbrain, if that's the case?
Correct. That's the only places both of them could have been. So Osse's going to go ahead, and since Osse's already beaten Kraid and now Ridley, this is an easy play into Brinstar, which we're going to see Motherbrain. I don't know where Dragon is. I know Motherbrain's the front entrance of Brinstar. I don't know where Dragon is. I didn't get that good look of a map.
I think Dre's probably like in the very top left or something like that of the map because Motherbrain was kind of close to the bottom left of the Bryn map, closer to the entrance. All right, Nevdi, will you be able to do the fight this time? 12 shots, 15 supers.
I'm going to say it this way here. We saw in the upper bracket final, Nevdi struggle in game 1, dominate game 2, and then come back to be really close in game number 3. I don't know if it's first race nerves here for Nevdi. I don't know. All the way back from just possible oopsie muscle memory in early on in this game, the randomly reset out of nowhere. But even now, that's so far removed. Nevdi is in. This will be the 4th time he's going to face Ridley. Osse finally saving, but now you have to be thinking, if you're Nevdi, how is Osse not finished yet? Do I still have a chance?
No, he's gonna keep it, I guess. So now I don't know if Nevdi's necessarily thinking like, how is Osse not finished, but Nevdi's thinking like, I'm not winning this one. That's definitely what he's thinking right now, right? And
probably
deservedly so. He's like pretty far behind at this point. But I think if Nevdi were to be able to catch any of the VOD before like the next match starts, right? He would maybe take some solace knowing that his route was essentially dead in the water compared to Osse's route.
Okay, so that even Dragon is upper left.
Yep, yeah.
So wait, so where's Motherbrain? I thought Motherbrain was very close to the entranceway.
Yeah, Motherbrain was just in the bottom, just right there on the left side. Yeah.
So, also, we want to give a shout-out on behalf of Speedgaming. Shout-out to Zost and Oates for the double raid. Again, a little bit of housekeeping for those of you just joining us. I'm WXFan21, joined by Eddie on commentary. Lunatic Moth has got you covered on tracking for all 3 games here in this lower bracket final. Eddie and Oates in game 2 on commentary, and should we need a game 3, you're going to have Derp and Oates and Goats on commentary as well. Make sure you stay tuned, because there's only one other game coming up after this, and that is none other than the grand final. It's going to be Zeb316 versus either of these 2 racers, and this is just game 1. Osse off to go defeat Dragon. Nevdi is going to go pet Ridley once again.
Nevdi actually had that fight. I think he got nervous, panicked a little bit, and kind of didn't jump into the claws the way that he wanted to. Man, this is tough. I think I'm not even kidding. Okay, so this game one, it's effectively, it's almost certainly over. Something like really, really bad would have to happen to Osse, right? Not even dying here is bad enough. Like Osse would have to die multiple times, repeatedly, right? But I think what would really help Nevdi for game 2, right? We're gonna talk about this, right? Is knowing that even if he first tried this Ridley, he probably wasn't going to win, right? Osse's route was so much stronger than what Nevdi did that it was kind of already over at this point. And almost enough so that Osse taking that gigantic death was maybe not enough, right?
Right.
So perhaps if he knew that, he would feel a little bit better going into the next one. But yeah, I mean, he's a little bit checked out of it. You know, he was like, you know what? Okay, this is clearly not working. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get some additional resources to fight Ridley. Goes out of his way for 2 hollows. They're 2 power bombs, and that's obviously not what he wanted to see, right? But
correct.
Yeah, he's just gonna go wander around now and see if he can do something else.
Yep.
Yeah,
now
unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, it's time, folks. With Osse defeating all the G4, Nevdi is shambling all over the place. It's time to get your predictions in. The little fun game I like running. How long do you think the escape timer is going to be? You know where Mother Brain is. You know where landing site is. Tell us now. Guess it in Twitch chat. How long do you think the escape timer is going to be? They are within 5-second intervals. I'm going to go with 3 minutes, 45 seconds. Eddie, what do you think?
You know, I haven't been able to check. I definitely am going to say not 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
It's Bryn to wreck ship to Norfair to Meridia to Criteria.
Let's go with 245.
I like it.
Or, you know, let's go with 3 flat. 3 flat. I'll take
3 flat. I like it. So, Osse making a play here, back down through the G4 statue room. Varialist Seed. That is what we have seen here so far. Nevdi gets his reserve. I'd be very curious to see here where the heck Varia was. Was it like we thought, Eddie, that other major up in Precious Room in Criteria? Could it have been something as really crazy as Screw Attack? Where was that Varia suit? Because I think if we look back at this, right, from a start standpoint, as Osse's just going to Crystal Flash here, if one of these racers finds that Varia suit, how different does the complexion of this race look? Vastly different.
Much different, for sure. I mean, given that Osse took like a 3-hour death, I mean, that's obviously an exaggeration, right? Nevdi dying multiple times. I'm just gonna say, like, you know, if that was Varia, then this would have been the easiest dub of my life. And that being ice right there,
ta-da!
Makes
Ice
it
beam!
much more likely that Precious could have been Varia. That's all I'm saying, you know.
So now we get a 50-50 Varia and Screw Attack.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
absolutely could have just been Screw Attack as well, right?
Yep.
So.
And that ice makes this Zeb skip a lot easier.
Yep. Zeb skip not being too much of a big deal here. With that charge, your beam is so strong that you can just blast every Zeb, and then your beam will take care of Mother Brain just fine. But yeah.
Nicely done. Nevdi finally gets to crate and Torian. Unfortunately for Nevdi, it's going to be a little too late. Unless Osse decides he wants to take a nap to let Nevdi back in this race.
All right, so Charge Ice Plasma, 22 shots from the Charge Ice Plasma. They're as strong as the supers, and then you use the 8 other supers to finish off Mother Brain. So Osse's going to go ahead and do that.
Osse also might be taking a little bit of frustration out from that Ridley death here on Mother Brain.
I mean, yeah, so Osse, by the way, is like, you know, the funny part is, like, he's so far ahead of Nevdi, but Osse's feeling sick right now. He's like, I'm gonna get sniped in the escape, right?
Yep.
Like, the mental warfare that happens in these sorts of games, when you know you took, like, a huge time loss, right?
Yep.
The mental warfare, the anguish that he's going through right now, you know, he's got that stone face, but when you saw that death, his hands were on his face. He was like, oh my God, right? I lost so much time. And so he's feeling this sickness that Nevdi's gonna snipe him in the escape. He's absolutely thinking that right now. right?
2 minutes 25 seconds.
I should have won my 245. I went straight further. I blame that on you, WX. You said
I'm
345.
sorry.
I was like, there ain't no way.
It's a 5-sector escape. I'm sorry.
Ain't no way it's 240. Ain't no way it's 345.
Lauren
you
Drell
made me
gets
push my guess up a little bit.
Lauren Drell gets the victory. Put it in the Twitch chat first. And I don't see any other 225s. So nicely done, Lauren Drell. Very nicely done. And now we're going to see how very quick Osse can actually get out of here. Because again, it's still Bryn to Wreck Ship to Norfair or Meridia, depending on which way you go in. Back to Meridia, back into Criteria.
Yep.
Oh my
sure
goodness,
he'll be totally fine on this escape. Osse being one that still plays escape random speed. So yeah.
Yep. Chat's already with the copium. This just takes me back to the I think Emmett calms with the copium that I did with him, and I'm just having flashbacks to that. Copium trucks, copium, whatever left along the house. There was a canister somewhere.
Yeah.
Love it. So Osse having no problem getting through Coliseum.
Straight down that wreck ship.
Into Norfair. Thank you, Emmett.
There's something poetic about, you know, Nevdi's just kind of sitting in wreck ship farming, and then Osse's like running by him in the escape. Yeah, I think a big thing to know is that, like I said before, if I know it sounds kind of crazy, but if Nevdi were to like literally watch the VOD and then know that if he was dead in the water because of the route, I think that would literally make him feel a little bit better, right?
Right.
Because shambles aside, you know, like Osse's route was so much stronger in this choice that there wasn't really any chance of him winning. He didn't throw by dying to Ridley that many times. Obviously, it made him feel horrible about it, right? But like, Osse was just gonna win this like almost no matter what. So.
Well, I said it at the beginning, right? Like, map control and map knowledge can be that important, you know, in a race. And there it is. Osse wins game number 1. Osse is now 1 game away from reaching the grand finals. Get your GGs in Twitch chat. Eddie, let's wrap things up here as Nevdi hangs out and tries to get his revenge here on Ridley. He's already forfeited from the race in the race time room.
Yep.
Thoughts on the seed?
Yeah, just a pretty crazy seed, like in the overall in the end, but like it just mainly kind of came down to, I mean, okay, the fights all were crazy, right? But Osse picking up that early gravity, and Nevdi kind of overlooking it, which can be okay in certain circumstances, but Nevdi got caught in this loop of doing all these really slow water rooms afterwards, and that was all time that Osse kind of gained back. I think Nevdi also couldn't get this map earlier that Osse was going to get, so ultimately the route that Nevdi took, while I think the choices that he made were fine, it was kind of game over from that point on. Osse taking a huge death from Ridley, Nevdi taking multiple deaths as well. But yeah, that's kind of the story of game 1. Clean slate for game 2. I think it's important that both these players kind of reset everything that happened and try their best. I
think Nevdi is going to bounce back here in a massive way. Again, I said this earlier. I'm going to wrap things up here too. Game number 2's already 6 minutes underway. Nevdi bounced back massively against Zeb in game number 2. I don't know if it was game 1 jitters, if it could be something as simple as just making mistakes that just piled into a snowball here. But with that being said, folks, I'm going to turn it over to Oats and Goats. Eddie versus Oats and Goats comms on game 2. If we need game 3, it's Derp and Oats on comms. Big shout out to Lunatic Moth on tracking. Folks, I hope to see y'all in the grand final on commentary, but if not, I'll be hanging out with all of you in Twitch chat. Eddie, always a pleasure doing commentary with you. Folks, don't go anywhere. Game number 2 is in about 3 minutes.
All right, friends. We are back for game 2 between Osse and Nevdi. First game was pretty exciting, but we're back for game 2. Clean slate. Osse up 1-0. Joining with me on comms right now is Oats and Goats. Oats, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you. How was game 1? Give me a quick recap.
Yeah, so basically Osse went and explored a bunch of stuff. Nevdi had some execution mistakes. So Osse took an early lead. And then Osse found gravity in Wreckship main shaft, and Nevdi sort of wasn't able to find that and did a bunch of water rooms afterwards, which lost him a lot of time. So Osse taking a huge death at Ridley lost him an incredible amount of time where he probably thought he lost, but Nevdi was so far behind at that point that it was only maybe kind of close. And then Nevdi at that point had to do a Ridley fight that was really tight and wasn't able to do it. So Osse took the win. That was game 1.
Yeah, overlooking any item like that, it's kind of a disaster. If you miss something, you then traverse multiple zones. You tend to just forget about what you've even seen at that point. So yeah, it's too bad for Nevdi.
Yep, absolutely. But you know, game 2, clean slate. Osse is up 1-0. I don't know if we can get that marked in the tracker, but oh yeah, I can do that right here. Boom. Let's see if that worked. Hopefully it did. There we go. Look at that. Professional commentary controller here.
Very nice. All right. So what are your predictions for game 2 after seeing that first game? I only caught a glimpse of the end, but yeah, what do you think's going to happen? And be completely honest, Eddie.
Completely honest?
Yep.
Listen, if I'm completely honest, the crowd's going to be unhappy, you know?
Okay.
Realistically, Osse is extremely strong, right? It's hard to beat Osse no matter what, and that last game kind of showed why as well, because Osse took like a huge death and was still pretty far ahead. But you know what? Here's what's gonna happen. Nevdi's gonna like turn somewhere and he's gonna spike a suit, and Osse's gonna play the rest of the seed suitless, and Nevdi's gonna take game 2. That's what my honest belief is.
I think that Nevdi is such a strong player. He will sometimes pull out the craziest times. I have no idea how he gets some of the times that he does. I bet we're gonna see, hopefully we see some crazy gameplay by Nevdi. Osse is just such a strong player all around, so you know that you have to sometimes take some risks against Osse, maybe do some route divergence, or maybe take some gambles that you wouldn't normally take. So yeah, we'll see how Nevdi plays now after that first loss.
Interesting. So you know, Osse opting to farm in case there was a hell run. There was a hell run, but that ended up being Nevdi choosing to go forward. Ended up actually saving him a little bit of time, but oh, no morph, so we gotta turn around. There's a few other doors we could check. Yeah, this is always a little bit interesting. So they opted to skip the bottom right door, which is totally fine because Speed Booster is typically going to be leading you to your next set of progression items. The only situation you typically get punished is if the filler E-tank was down there and you needed that filler E-tank. So let's see what happens. Oh, this is not logic, so I would not do this.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. I mean, you could for fun. I don't know if he did get grabbed by Yapping Ma Osse, unfortunately. But yeah, that's just one of those risks. Like, it could be an item that maybe you'll get. Maybe we'll see a screw attack as the next item. Then screw attack actually puts that in logic, and maybe there's an item behind that. But until you actually know that, if you're playing like very logically and you're trying to play smart, it's best just to avoid that.
Yeah, I think especially given the fact that you don't have Morph Ball, I think it's really important to kind of stay in logic because, you know, okay, there's your Morph Ball, but like, are you trying to break logic to find a suit without your Morph Ball? You know, that kind of that's kind of
right
for that to happen. So yeah, definitely. There's the filler tank too. So heading back up now, this is definitely now a situation where you can maybe think about breaking the logic and going through the Metroid rooms when you don't have charge for a pseudo or like your screw attack. But oh, there is this item in cosine room that we didn't get. We have morph now, so we're gonna go pick that up. We'll see what it is.
Yep, and yeah, I'm not sure what that will be because once you get speed and morph, it's, you know, that kind of negates. Sometimes you can predict a space jump or a gravity or critical or okay, so bombs is the next item. Yeah.
Right. So,
I suppose top left of ship would be maybe something that I would consider doing.
Yep. This could also be the time to now check the bottom right of ship because there could just be, you know, like parlor or something there. Well, and Speed Booster would have put that in logic probably, but Oh, interesting.
I wonder if Nevdi, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you actually definitely check the bottom right now. It's cool. Morph room actually connected along the bottom there. So you definitely want to check the bottom right now because the bombs should put that into logic. I think even Speed Booster just puts that item into logic. You could do a mock to get down there. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and just get grabbed by this guy. There are little worms on the other side that you can farm, but you could also jump over them if you don't want to accidentally touch them. But yeah, you could just get over them, get to the ship, and then you would definitely want to. I was honestly panicking that he might get hit by that worm. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So Nevdi's actually taking quite a nice lead here. He was trying to go to the left of the ship before even saving, which I would have been completely shocked since they've already made so much progress. But he is just going to go right for that map, like you said. It does make sense. Get the information quickly.
I think. Yeah. So in this case, he's just getting the item.
Or not
here.
map. Yes. Item. Yes.
Okay, and it's the supers. Okay, I think what Nevdi wanted to do is if he can get that sick tech where he breaks all the blocks, he would save and then just go through it, and then get up to the bottom right. But yeah, I think even so, you have to go to the bottom right, knowing that it's early game. You literally have nothing, and there's an item there. You just kind of need those missiles or whatever it is.
There's a good chance that this door or a door coming up past this is also just an ammo door, so it is just to get the next item that you know you can get after morph.
Yep. I think probably one of the most likely items we're going to find is going to be something like a screw attack or maybe even like a gravity or something like that. And there's your green door, like you were saying.
Yep.
So over the right.
Osse's going to be seeing this green door, having to turn around and going for that item. Oh, Varia.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Good item.
So I bet Nevdi is relieved to see Varia after the previous seed from what you told me anyways. So that is kind of a relief because it can be a real pain. Okay, so this, I didn't see the previous room, but he is just going to try to bomb jump this. Very nice. Power bomb door, so yeah.
Yep, big reward. Now, knowing that that's there is a little bit helpful, and you can come back there when you do have your power bombs, or if you get the map, you may not have to ever come back. Yep. Funny enough, that previous room is not logically a runway to get the spark in, because it's a special case scenario where the game has to assume that it cover both cases of Phantoon being alive and dead. So you would not be able to speed boost through that room if, logically at least, if that room were, if Phantoon were dead at that point, because it would have water. So it would not be a logical runway, if that makes sense.
Yep, it makes sense. That's very interesting. I guess that's never really the situation that comes up, but it is good to know for sure. Nevdi is trying to bomb jump up here. He's going to see what this door has to offer, and we'll see. I feel like we never really see. Oh, he just was off a little bit. He should be moving. I'm not sure what he's doing. He needs to move to the left.
Did he not break both the blocks?
No, it was like slightly. He's half and half on it right now, so he needs to move to the left. Yeah. I feel like we never really see Osse do too much of this. Okay, he's just trying. Okay, it just worked. Very nice. Does it pay off? It does pay off.
Baby seed.
That's huge.
So Osse knows how to do double bomb jumps here. So that's gonna save a lot of time. You know, it's crazy how much time double bomb jumps can save you. You know, as long as you're not messing them up in these seeds.
Yeah, it saves a lot of time. It's definitely worth learning if you're trying to play these a little bit faster. And yeah, because bomb jumping is going to come up in essentially every seed or every other seed. Unfortunately, Osse is having kind of a tough time with it. So yeah, we'll see what they do next. So far, they're pretty stacked up. But like I said, I'm sure they're both happy. Osse's about to see his reward as well. So it is kind of nice to get these seeds. Then, I mean, I prefer seeds to where we get mobility right away as a speedrunner myself, because I know that kind of gives me a slight edge over my opponents. So I'd imagine Nevdi, he's pretty dang good at the game and very good mechanically. I'm sure he's feeling the same way.
Yep. Now, you know, it's funny because if I'm Nevdi, obviously we know that Nevdi is ahead right now, right? But if I'm Nevdi, or I know Nevdi's not feeling too great because he's like, this is a jet seed, and I'm playing someone that knows how to double IBJ. So he's definitely thinking I'm a little not feeling great about this current situation. But yeah, I mean, so far, not really any mistakes. And Oh,
luckily Suits is
Suits.
real good, but yeah,
okay,
it's
he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. Don't touch a crab or something though. I think.
Okay,
we'll
we're
still
probably
live,
gonna see him. Yeah, go into crab hole here. Try to get this map, and we'll peek and see what kind of information we have for Kateria and how you move forward.
Yep. Those guys kind of hit a little hard, so you got to be a little bit careful. Not like you know, with the double suits, obviously you have plenty of damage reduction, but
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what Nevdi is trying to do there.
I think he was trying to keep the speed and then jump up and shoot so he can make it if he got the right amount of run speed. But
I don't think you can do that without high jump.
If you have like a lot of run speed, I think you could do it. But
okay.
I don't. That looked pretty optimistic. I think he was just trying it and then he kind of looked a little silly. Okay, so what do we got here? Save Norfair. There's a major right there.
So it looks like yeah, they're just gonna go down, down in Everest, and then you just need to check these items and because they still need power bombs. So once you get power bombs and supers, you can then have a little bit of freedom with what hollows you're grabbing. But at this point, they need to go to obviously West Ocean, grab that major, grab all hollows. Essentially, is what I would do for you know, supers or whatever. So.
Yep, and that's exactly what you gotta do. The interesting thing about this map is criteria is divided by the toilet. So everything in the West Ocean section is all that they can do right now. So the other section of criteria is completely isolated. It's just 2 entrances to Meridia, essentially. So just clear all the
right, yep.
Yeah, so yeah, pretty much as you said. There was maybe a case to say before, if you didn't look at the map like enough, you could maybe argue like, what if I just peek Norfair? Because then I have different options later on, right? So yeah, or you know, Meridia or something like that.
If you do a play like that, I'm questioning what you're doing. That I think most players would be like, okay, that's insane. But if you had power bombs,
yeah,
power bombs in charge at this point, then I'd be like, you know what, maybe it's the cool play. You know?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, there definitely is a chance where power bombs are actually just like in Norfair or Meridia or something, and these are all just E-tanks and supers. This is a world where that happens, but you can't not just do this.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We got the reserve. Now, here's an interesting thing about the seed, right? The value of majors has diminished great. Okay, well, all right. Oh, you love these seed notes.
I totally blinked. What was that?
That was charge beam.
Charge beam. Okay, so yes, I would be salivating at a seed like this because then it's fun. It becomes kind of just a routing game.
Chasing the elusive sub 30, right?
Yeah. So the way you kind of play these is if you have charge before you get any beams, you know that your damage is nothing. You then start kind of like Nevdi's doing right now. You just kind of collect these tiny these packs here and there, just everything that's close that's not going to lose you more than 5 to 10 seconds, I'd say. If it's losing more than that, it almost is not worth it because you're still looking for you're probably still grabbing majors, and there's a good chance that one of those could still just be plasma or anything to up your beam damage.
So I guess
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, you can continue your thought.
I was just saying with the with this, I would never grab that unless that's a super missile because you know you only have charge. But yeah, that's a smart play not to grab that item. Go ahead now.
So there was a lot of things to consider in these double suit seeds. You know, obviously, you know, if you're playing it just for fun, casually, you're thinking, okay, yeah, this is a baby seed, right? This is easy. There's no real threats at this point, right? In a race scenario, there's no time to think anymore. You gotta move, right? And then you gotta start thinking a little bit as you move. You have to start thinking like, how do I take care of Ridley? I don't have to think about the E-tanks anymore. I don't have to think about stuff like that, right? But how do I kill the Ridley when I come across him, right? And they started off the game with 2 supers right off the bat, right? So now they're thinking like, okay, perhaps this is a seed where I get ammo, right? But the value is slightly diminished because I don't need the E-tanks necessarily because I have the Varia suit, right? So then it gets a little bit weird because now that you have double suit, the value of the majors actually drops significantly because you're basically borderline go mode and charge is the main major you need, right? So all of those majors are kind of not useful until you get that charge, right? So then there's some things you have to think about, like, do I go ammo or do I go charge in this situation? But now that they got that charge, things have changed. The value of the majors have gone up, because now any of those 4 beams are like very important to make your charge actually be significant, because you don't want to just do a charge only fight, right? So it'll be interesting. I think at this point, when you see the majors that aren't like really, really far out of the way, you have to get them for that beam damage, because otherwise you're going to have the slowest boss fights of all time.
Right, and there's a good chance. Yeah, I mean, any beam will increase your Ridley kill time significantly. So you don't have to go for everything out of the way, because sometimes the even if it's plasma and you don't have if you have like charge, space, or ice, that plasma, if it's too far out of the way, will never be worth it. So yeah, so what I like to do in these seeds is kind of just like a hybrid thing. Plasma beam.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Now there is no, you don't have to do okay, so with this, there's a couple things you have to think about. So one beam they might need is ice. You almost never need ice in order to get through, because you can break the Zebs, or you can have a spark suit or a spike suit, or you can have enough run speed prior to do a shine spark through the Zebatites. So X-ray, not really beneficial other than for Dragon. And Fantoon, it does.
Yeah, it'll be a little helpful. I think it'll get some value for sure, just because of the double microwave that you can do.
Yeah, so yeah, basically at this point I'm thinking, okay, you need to speedrun to the maps, because you need instant information, and then you need to bail immediately if there's nothing. And like I said, there is still the lingering thought of, is there a runway prior to Mother Brain? So you kind of have to risk it to where you assume that you can finish without ice a lot of the time in these seeds. And then you kind of just have to work with what you got when you get there. And you might be getting a spark suit.
So a few things I want to mention. First of all, I think with the fact that they got the 2 supers right off the bat, and the fact that they have about 20-ish missiles or so, I do think at this point, like, they could just keep their resources, maybe find like 2 more missile packs, and they could just blast all the Zebs essentially. They'll probably run across some additional ammo at this point to take care of that Zeb skip. But like you said, getting these maps are kind of important. We saw Osse before he got that plasma, he might go for it right now. Osse's going for this shine spark, this look at this. So Osse's gonna go for this. He failed it the first time and then went to Main Street. He's gonna go for it again.
I think looking at the map, Nevdi should go down here, because I think the left side is Kraid. I think he should at least peek this. It has the opportunity to be Kraid because it's a 2x2 with a door on the left and right. So this would be pretty beneficial for him to just grab now, because I'm not sure if there's a save around. That would also definitely help, but it's definitely worth peeking. So we're starting to see the route divergence right now. Like you said, Osse getting the information, or going to try to get the information, assuming he can, and then Nevdi is kind of.
I really like Osse's play. I think it's gonna work out.
Osse's play is much better at the moment. Yes.
I don't know if Nevdi. Here's the thing: like you have experience on those expert seeds, the harder seeds, right? That that's a trick that like you can do and you've done before. I don't know if Nevdi's ever attempted that, right? So just based off of that, he's gonna be kind of like blind checking a little bit more.
Okay, so yeah, if you look at that map, that's there is no Kraid there, but there is Ridley. Which should be fought immediately, and there is Mother Brain, I believe. I think 2 majors, but at that point, you don't really grab those majors. They were around Mother Brain. You hope that those are ice, and you don't grab those until the very end, essentially. I didn't see if there's a runway, but that's also obviously something they need to consider.
So Osse probably is going to take care of that Ridley right now. So typically, if Ridley and Mother Brain are sort of in the same area and near each other, you are not in a rush necessarily to do it, but this is far enough left and kind of out of the way that you want to just take care of Mother Brain now as you can. So Osse also came across some power bombs. Don't know if they were out of logic exactly, but this is looking really good for Osse.
It's looking good for Osse, but now I'm questioning. It was looking good for Osse mainly before Nevdi decided to bail immediately. If Nevdi didn't bail immediately and come down to Meridia, I would have said this is looking really nasty for him. But the fact that Mother Brain is there and you don't need to kill Ridley until later on, you can kill Ridley as the last boss right before Mother Brain. Since the entrance is right there to go back to Criteria to Meridia. So if Nevdi can start cruising through Meridia and grabbing more items, I think he then might have an advantage.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm not very comfortable with Nevdi's current position. First of all, like he's got to fight power bombs, right? Worst case scenario, Nevdi just can't fight power bombs for a long time, and then he's in big trouble, especially if he gets blocked by something, right? But one of the problems I'm concerned about with Nevdi right now is he doesn't know where Ridley and Another Brain are, right? So there is a really good chance that Osse can skip a region. There's a very reasonable chance that happens. And Nevdi's gonna look at everything, right? Now here's the thing. There's a lot of situations where, you know, the last trade, right, just happens to be in the last location that we're looking for. And so in that case, like, then Osse doesn't save any time, right? Because in the end, they both have to check everything. So if all the bosses are stacked early in this journey that Nevdi's about to take, then Nevdi's in big trouble because he's going to search everything down here.
Yes. So in the scenario that I'm speaking of, yeah, it essentially just has to line up to where he's not exploring extra zones.
Yes.
It's really rough because in Nevdi's mind, he already explored a lot of Norfair, so you don't get a lot of value for Norfair anymore because you've already taken some of that value.
I think Nevdi's already in a little bit of trouble because the map was locked in Red Tower and he did not have power bombs, right? So he's doing some additional exploration that Osse would not be doing. But he gets ice out of it at least.
He does. So one scenario, basically Nevdi has to channel his third eye here. He needs to assume that Norfair is where he needs to end up. And if he kills all the bosses except Ridley, he just kind of needs to go back to Norfair. And that's kind of a stretch because why would you do that? There are cases where you might because you're trying to hope that you can catch back up because Nevdi right now might not be too comfortable as well because he's not finding power bombs.
I think that the power bomb thing is really hurting right now, right? Because there's literally a map right there and he got into the power bomb lock spot of Red Tower. So Osse clearly getting these power bombs out of logic was, you know, in a lot of situations it might be okay because Nevdi will just find some power bombs along the way, but Osse's literally going to pass up Nevdi right here with the additional information and the Ridley kill, like right now, which is not good.
Yeah, that I was trying to be hopeful for Nevdi here, but it now is seeming since power bomb doors are coming very quickly that it's not looking good at all.
Yeah, so there's a few things that have to happen. Wave beam. Nevdi needs to find power bombs like right now. Ideally, there's a boss right next to the power bombs so that Osse has to make the same backtrack that Nevdi is doing at the moment as well.
Yep.
And then wherever the final boss that they go before they kill Ridley is, it needs to be in the last zone that they visit. Because then Osse doesn't gain the advantage of like skipping a region and leaving.
Exactly.
That's what's going to happen. But as of right now, Osse is just strictly ahead of Nevdi.
I don't know if Nevdi's just not checking because he assumes that's sand pits. And there we go. Fantoon is in Red Tower to where Nevdi could not reach because of the lack of power bombs. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I don't know if I didn't look at the map correctly, but I'm not quite sure why Nevdi bailed on some of these doors. At this point,
it could be power bomb locked, and then he's screwed.
Well, no, some of them weren't. I believe some of the doors he wasn't going into. But yeah, because at this point you're kind of like, dang, I just need to find items. I need to find. I just need information in these halls, and unfortunately he didn't pick the right sand pits, so there's nothing here.
So I think Nevdi wanted to verify that, like the right door was like not one of the, orange door or something like that. And then he wanted to okay, I'm going to commit to a sand pit now.
Ooh, skipping Fantoon there, unfortunately, but he's just playing for the map right away, which is smart. In these, I like to take that stupid gamble to where I assume every door is Fantoon if there's a left map that's dry.
I think that's perfectly fine. I do that too, right? Because the path up there is actually kind of long, so I think it's good to do
good value if you can spike it.
Exactly. I mean, because immediate right door sometimes it'll be sometimes it'll also just be a straight up maybe a save or something like that, right? So I think it's fine. All right, so Nevdi, funny enough, is able to just kind of make it through a tower from this angle. Gonna fight Fantoon and also gonna make it out.
So one scary thing here is he didn't check the left sandpit area. What if that's powerbomb locked? So then he's just getting information, but then he has to revert.
I think he verified that by going through the wreck ship shaft, which is why he did that and turn around.
Oh, okay. He already verified
yeah.
that. Okay.
So he verified it, then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go down sandpit now. I think that's why he went to the wreck ship shaft and then turned around, just to make sure that he had a path out.
Actually,
it is
does he
powerbomb
have?
block. Oh god.
He doesn't have a path out. Yeah.
Oh, he is in trouble.
Yep. So he couldn't verify that. Yeah.
Oh
Unfortunately.
no. Yeah. I mean, he could R mode X-ray climb out.
Yeah, he could. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Nevdi has to go up here, and he's got to check the hollows in the criteria connection, because he's stuck.
Yeah. So, did the criteria connection have hollows?
It did have some hollows. Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully, there's quite a few hollows because he's in a very tough spot right now.
Yes. This is really. I think he's realizing right now. He probably feels sick. Like he's got to feel sick right now looking at this.
Yeah. I assume he's gonna go ahead and look at the criteria and just maybe just Hail Mary it.
Yeah, he doesn't have any other options right now, unfortunately. So it looks like Osse's in criteria right now. I think this is the other side. Oh, it's the next direct ship.
There's two, but he knows one is a reserve. But it does connect direct ship and Torian, so he's not in trouble.
Yes,
right now.
He could be in trouble, but I think the odds that he finds something that bails him out is so high at this point. He'll probably be okay.
Yeah.
But he's sweating for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable, but certainly at this point you start to feel definitely more comfortable. There's a lot of powerbomb packs, and you're so far out of the logic at this point. Since I mean, could this still be in logic for Nevdi?
No, because there's no path back.
There's no right.
Yeah, so he has to find power bombs in this one way, and if he gets locked by some orange doors on the way out, then he's in trouble. But
yeah,
there's a good chance he'll be bailed out in some way, and Osse's gonna go ahead and start exploring. Time to find the bosses.
Yeah, so the hope is that there's just divergence now, and Nevdi kind of just picks the right areas, but there's still an issue with that because he doesn't know where Ridley is. He did see Dragon, but he doesn't know where Mother Brain is. So, so that's another.
Awesome. Yeah, Nevdi is kind of going out of his way on checking all the hollows at this point.
There's power bombs there for Osse, but unfortunately, you need power bombs to get up.
Oh no! Yeah, this is looking really not good. Okay, so Nevdi's gonna be forced to turn around when he enters that terrain area. Oh man, maybe he just picks wreck ship first.
I mean, yeah. So Osse's playing the smart thing here. There's really not much going on at Torian, so he's just going right to wreck ship. Let's see what wreck ship looks like, so we can forecast Nevdi's, hopefully not demise here. But this is getting really stressful for him.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where since Torian was empty, wreck ship is where the answers are. The final two bosses. Perhaps there is another. Is that it? Actually, I think we have everything. Brinstar. Brinstar could be in wreck ship if that's the case, but the bosses are here if Torian was going.
Yeah,
and Nevdi did choose wreck ship first, so that's good.
Yep.
Now the one issue. Okay, wait.
Yeah, so he is good. He is good.
Okay.
Unless I missed the powerbomb door that Osse blew up, but I don't think I saw it. So.
Yeah, looks like Nevdi's safe. So he's gonna feel so relieved upon seeing this powerbomb back, knowing that he screwed up somewhere logically at least. But yeah, so far it's working out for him, and Nevdi's he's hot on Osse's tail, but Osse does have the kill, so.
Yeah, the only thing that Nevdi has right now is just the damage for Ridley, but it doesn't really matter because Osse has the information.
Oh.
So, and the thing is here, Osse's just going to revert. Nevdi cannot revert, so it's just even more time loss for Nevdi here.
Where was Brinstar? Was it in Turian? Did Osse miss that then?
Oh, Meridia.
Oh, back in Meridia. I see.
That's not, yeah, so with that, it looks like you just go down to Brinstar and then you probably just clean up Dragon.
Huh. Osse seems to be a little bit confused right now because
he does.
I don't think he saw the Brinstar entrance. He's still looking. Yeah, he missed it. He missed it. It was in the bottom left of radio.
Yeah. He'll see it. He'll see it. I mean, eventually you have to see it, right? Like, there we go. Hopefully it's right there. Maybe he has a smudge on his screen. He can't see the B. Who knows?
Okay. Yeah, looks like he sees it. But yeah, unfortunately, what would have been really good for Nevdi is if Nevdi were able to save the time on the Turian, but Nevdi definitely has to check Turian after this.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate for him. I mean, there is one maybe scenario because you have to come back up to this area to where you just go back down to Meridia since you see Dragon and Brinstar. There's one like kind of crazy Hail Mary scenario for Nevdi. He knows he's behind at this point. I can't imagine he thinks he's ahead. To where you just go down to where the boss locations already are, and then that kind of just puts you in the general vicinity to where, like, if you miss it, you miss it. You have to go back up near wreck ship entrance anyways. But if you do get lucky with Brinstar, then Dragon's there anyways. Then you're just cleaning up bosses.
I think there is a world where I don't know if Nevdi necessarily feels he's like super far behind, right? Because it's possible that Osse had to go on some kind of crazy journey somewhere to find like the power bomb packs, and then Nevdi just kind of happenstance ran across it along the path. So I don't know if Nevdi has too many thoughts on like what his current situation is, but we know obviously that he's kind of in some trouble here because he's basically got the kill on Ridley, and he's just moving quicker than Nevdi is because of that powerbomb fiasco early on.
Yeah, it's tough to know. Like, does Nevdi know that Osse will get that shine spark through pre-croc? Does he think about those things? Does he think that that's a potential loss for him right there? Like, it's so tough to call because sometimes you just overlook those things. You think it's impossible, but then your opponent all of a sudden finds a way to do it, and then
Yeah, it's such a strong play. Nevdi definitely, I believe, is aware of that strategy. I'm a little surprised that he didn't go for it. Perhaps he just didn't know. But yeah, like you said, like the reverts that Osse got to do that Nevdi basically cannot do. I mean, he could do it here, I guess, if he had the save earlier, but yeah, it's unfortunate, but Nevdi can't really seem to save that time on Osse here. Fortunately, we went to wreck ship first instead of Turian first, at least.
Yep, so I'd imagine he'll revert. Yeah, the power bomb is nice, but it's not nice enough to waste 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
Yeah, especially when you already have those bombs. Don't really need the additional ones, but yeah. It's time to leave.
Yep, so now Osse knows that Kraid is going to be in Brinstar, and unfortunately, Nevdi is still a little bit clueless on Kraid and Ridley at the moment, and Mother Brain.
Yep. All right, so definitely Nevdi needs to go into Brinstar here. If he goes back into Warfare, that's gonna definitely put him behind.
I can imagine he would, because you'd have to go back up, and then but like I said, maybe in his mind he's just trying to like hope that now that's where the rest of the bosses are. And that's a bit crazy.
I don't know if Nevdi because Nevdi might not have put that on the radar, right? Like the spark on the radar, so he's maybe not necessarily thinking that like going back in Norfair is bad, right?
Right.
But yeah, obviously in this case, like we know we need to go to Bryn here. But we'll see. So the kind of the final copium truck hope here, right, is this path to Kraid is just like horrible, huge turns. Like you go to the map, you take the right path. Turns out it was like the other entrance. Okay, well,
never mind
for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brinstar is the second largest map, I believe, right? So there was that hope, but certainly it's already already
map
gone.
Right there. Not looking too good. Alright, so let's find out. Where is Kraid?
Probably right to the left. Nope, way to the right. Okay, so I mean, pretty far out of the way, but that's nothing's gonna hold these players back from getting there ASAP. That's
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, like when if Nevdi goes into Bryn after this, right? And gets the map, finds the boss, I legitimately think he's gonna feel really good about his position, right? because he was able to finish on Norfair without having completed Norfair, right? He's going to be like, okay, this route is perfect. I'm finishing at Mother Brain. Like, everything's going perfect. And then I think he's going to be like, oh, what happened? When
he's probably going to be fighting Ridley or the end of Ridley by the time Osse is maybe hitting done. That's definitely a demoralizing feeling, because you think you play it right, and you're right. Because if he doesn't know that Osse is capable of getting that map at that point, you think that you play it pretty well. And then especially, like you said, if you end up in Norfair, it's where the last boss is in Mother Brain. Yeah, it's definitely tough. And
yep.
I mean, we'll see. It's not over yet. There are still some things that can happen, but you know, clearly right now Osse is at a huge advantage.
Osse heading over to Crade, and let's see what Nevdi's next choice is going to be. Yeah, the thing is that Norfair map, it was so big for so many reasons, because there's so many things can change it, right? Because if they don't spike that plasma right there at the beginning, right, and your beam is just garbage, Osse's suddenly in like this like kind of gross situation where it's like, am I gonna do like this 20 missile 10 super charge beam only fight on Ridley, or do I save him for later when I come back with better? You have to make a decision there, right?
Yeah.
In this case, like, yeah, Nevdi's gonna have an ice wave on top of Osse's fight, but charge plasma, like, you're killing Ridley right there, right? You're right there, happens to be right next to the map, and then you have to go on a little bit of a journey, go back to Ridley. So this is the time to do it. But yeah, it just sparking there was so rewarding, essentially. And there's definitely situations where it works out nice. There's a high chance you get the map, but there's chances where it won't end up saving you a good amount of time, right?
Right.
In this case, it worked out.
Yeah.
All right, so Nevdi's gonna see this map. Nevdi's gonna feel good about his route, and then go take care of Crate. And yep, just trailing behind Osse right now.
Yeah, it's really not that bad of a time right now for Nevdi. If you're finishing around anything sub 50 or close to it, is a pretty good rando time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess more so than like anything either, right? It's like, okay, let me think about the regions I went to. Like, could I have avoided that wreck shipping period? No, I definitely couldn't have. Probably not, right? Because I don't see a world where that kind of ends up happening. You hit both those regions, right? So at the end of it, at the end of it all, right? Like, the region that I kind of had to leave was the one that had Mother Brain and Ridley, right? So if he thinks about it that way, it's like, you know what? My route's pretty good at this point.
Yeah. But all it takes is one trick, and like you were saying, Osse has vast knowledge of the tricks pretty much everywhere in the game, so he can just kind of get the advantage that way. Kind of if you were underwater wall jumping pre-halfy room, you know, something like that.
Yep, exactly like that. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. That did happen in one of our races, but it was a race that you were checked out of, so didn't really matter.
To where you were underwater wall jumping?
Yeah, I told you about that one. We had a race like that where that's exactly what I did.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to. I blocked those out of my mind because it just, yeah, it's just better that way. It's what my therapist recommends anyway. All right, so Nevdi's heading to Crade. Like you said, he's probably feeling pretty good about the route because now he knows that Ridley and Mother Brain are going to be in Norfair, but Osse is cruising to Norfair where he already has that information, and he'll be there shortly, just finishing this up.
All right, so maybe this is a situation where Osse somehow managed to fail his up skip for like 5 minutes.
It could be, yep.
Maybe that's enough time for Nevdi to catch up.
Yeah, definitely could see that happening to Osse. Yeah, failing a very basic trick for 5 minutes, but you never know.
Okay, I wouldn't call it basic. It's a little tricky.
Yeah, for someone like for Osse, yeah, it's
fair. That's fair.
Surprised, does Nevdi not go for the quick kill?
You know, I think he might not know how to do it actually. So.
Oh.
No.
Really?
Yeah. Wings it every time.
Okay, well, he just used plasma, and you know, so that's obviously 900. That's not enough to kill, so I was surprised.
Yeah, the dangerous thing is if you actually
Zombie. Yeah.
Yep. You don't want to finish the shot that freezes his mouth. If you kill him with plasma there, that's where it gets no good. You soft lock, but
Skipping Timu plasma on Osse's side. It's unfortunate, but.
All right, so Osse flying over to the right. Osse basically taking the strongest route you can kind of take here, I think. I don't really know a way to have routed it better than he did. So, I mean, honestly,
I'm gonna...
Osse.
Yeah. He played it extremely well. I'll make a little prediction here. He's gonna get hit by ketchup and some onion rings. He hasn't saved for a while. Nevdi is gonna smell some blood in the water somehow. He's just gonna know. Something in the air is gonna change, and he's gonna start kicking in the afterburners. So we'll see.
Austin having a little crab party down there. All right, here we go. So with this beam, 30 charge shots, -1 for every super. Osse getting that up good. And let's see if he has some ketchup for dinner tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. In all reality, it should be completely fine. It's a fairly easy fight with the plasma ice. It's not too many shots.
All right, 26.4.
Yeah, we're just trying to stay positive for the racers. You know, D Texas. They're both incredibly good racers, and you just see it just takes one trick and a little bit of information to severely change the outcome of these. So,
stay positive for the racers. Osse, don't get hit by that catch-up. It would be a shame if you didn't take this to game 3, right?
Yep. Stay positive. Please die. Yep.
All right. Yep. I don't think you can move anymore. Just sit right there. Just sit right there and take it. Okay.
Well, he's good. Thank goodness he survived.
No way Osse gets lost.
He could get lost on the way out. You know, Norfair directly into Criteria is a tough route.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, if you go to the mall, I don't know, your local mall that you've been to as a kid multiple times or something, right? And, you know, if they randomize the map, like, are you not going to get lost? I think I would. So.
Yeah, that's an excellent way to put it. Yes, I hadn't thought about that before. All right, so even before Nevdi starts fighting Ridley, he's going to get the bad news here. Osse is on the escape, grabbing plasma. God bless you, Osse. Or Spazer. May as well be plasma. So yeah.
Excellent grab.
I wonder if he'll grab these missiles. He needs to turn around for those ones. He is heading the wrong way. Oh, here it starts. That's how it starts. He's at the mall right now, and they changed the layout of the stores.
Yep. Right into the bathroom when he was trying to get to, you know, the local...
the Yankee store. Candle, yeah. It's just a bummer.
55 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I bet when I see that map, if I'm Nevdi, I'm thinking, I'm feeling pretty good. And then I'm feeling really bad in about 20 seconds. So.
Yeah, I think there's a chance Osse or Nevdi might kind of realize how good this would be if he sparked it. Because he should be aware that that is a possibility. But I don't know if he's like that's how Osse would do, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. You see the map, it does feel good, right? You're like, oh, wow, Ridley's right here, perfect.
All right, so Osse is about to be finishing up here, headed to the ship room. Nevdi will be entering Ridley as he is finishing up. And there we go. So Osse is taking game 2. And unfortunately for Nevdi, that is the end of his tournament life. Very well done, though. His official race time was a 42:19.
All right. GG's to Osse. GG's to Nevdi. Hard fought battle, but Osse is a very strong opponent. Osse did finish, or Nevdi did finish up in the race room. So we'll try to send those invites over if we can. But yeah, you know, not everyone can 2-0 Osse in the tournament, right, Oates?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's
Only-
exclusive
only-
to me.
Only the best of the best can do that. All right, and joining us on the commentator booth is Osse and Nevdi.
Yo.
GG to both of you. GG's.
GG, Osse.
Yep. GG Nevdi. Good race.
How's it feel to cheese like that? No, that was so good.
I was waiting for something.
when
yeah.
you finished, I was like, huh? Like, what? What do you mean? I felt like okay. And then I'm like looking. If you look at the VOD now, I'm looking around trying to like find the PBs, trying to like cope heavily. And then I just asked Osse. I'm like, all right, Osse, what'd you do? So that's sick, man. That's so good. I mean, even if PBs aren't there, that
so
info's
good.
so good. Like, it's
Yeah.
just so.
Yeah.
You beat me no matter what with that play. That's
Yep.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
To
so
start
how
off
did you
is,
feel with that, Nevdi? Eddie and I were talking back and forth on whether or not you felt good about the round, or you were maybe questioning, because once you see Norfair, it's either good or bad. Maybe you made the right play, or maybe you should have tried to spark and get the map early. Like, how were you thinking you were in a very good position there?
Yeah, I really kind of overlooked the map spark, to be honest. I'm not sure how difficult it is. I don't know the timing for it, and I honestly don't. I just didn't think about it, to be honest. So I felt good about the route as a result of that.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously thought about the spark the room before, but I didn't think about above carrying it below. I don't know how tight it is, but I mean, it is Osse, so yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. It's a little tricky.
Yeah, you kind of want to have practiced it because
Yes,
it's a
for sure.
mid-air spark and pretty tight.
Did that enable you to skip Turian and wreck ship then as
No.
well? Like,
It did not.
okay, I
The
didn't
big
think it would.
the big kind of time loss was when you saw Red Tower to the right of Aqueduct. You know, you had to like stare at it and turn around, and then you had to go exploring. That's when Osse just, naturally he goes there and he just immediately blows it up. and
Yeah, of
doesn't go on a
course.
journey
Because
like you did.
At that
Yeah.
point, you're in Meridia long before he is, because obviously Osse gets the information in Norfair, and then you decide to bail, which is smart. If you're not going to do that, you just need to bail immediately, which you did. But unfortunately, power bombs were in such a weird location that you couldn't do anything, and then
Yeah.
Osse is just catching right back up because he
Yeah.
already found those. So
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then more of the time save came because you realized, oh, I'm in trouble. I need power bombs, or else I can't leave. And
Yeah.
Osse had the save in Caterpillar Room.
Mhm.
Because Osse already had the power bombs, just upon seeing the dead entrances to both of those regions, just reset them. Whereas you had to carry it all the way back. So it was just
Yeah,
kind
makes
of
sense.
a lot of
And
time.
if
left.
power bombs were along the way for you, Nev, the map was actually almost in your favor, because
Yeah.
you have to go
Yeah.
down to the lowest portion of the map anyways. You're gonna check wreck ship in Torian no matter what, and so it actually worked out for you to potentially take this one even without the Norfair information. But unfortunately, like I was saying, I have no idea where the logical power bombs were, but yeah, that was unfortunate.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I find them up in Norfair somewhere. I think they're in pit room, but I go for a little hunt now before I finish the game, so I might go see him in a second. But because I was trying to work it
It's
out.
probably,
But
it's
yeah,
probably
that
blinded
makes
Norfair.
sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I run into PBs on the way, that's cool. But it also is nice that Osse is rewarded for that play, and there's power bombs there. Because so many other things could have rewarded anyway. So
Hmm.
you try and bend it to make it work for me. But I think overall it's better that it worked out this way, if that makes
The guy's
sense.
just sparking for the map.
Yeah, it's just good. Yeah,
It's
for
just
sure.
right there. You can get back by just running normally. So it's just a solid play.
Yeah.
But
it's
then when I
almost
found power
unfortunate.
bombs, that just changes how I viewed the race.
Yeah,
Up till that point, we had every other item. So it was
Mhm.
just to go fast seed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then turned into a power bomb hunt.
yeah.
I had an advantage from my point of view.
Mhm.
So you were thinking Nevdi wouldn't go for that.
Yeah. That's pretty
Makes
tough.
sense. Yeah, it's not. It's.
Oh, and I
Nevdi
can't do
doesn't
tough
play-
tricks, Osse. What do you say?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
that's
go for it.
your skill kind of level there. No.
Yeah, skill issue. Sorry, Nevdi.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I didn't see game one, so I can only talk in game two. But yeah, another unfortunate part too is charge in plasma being so early, because there is a situation to where if Osse does see Ridley, but you're struggling because you go, okay, how do I fight Ridley now? Luckily, Mother Brain's right there, but there is a situation where like that is an issue, and then you find potentially charge or something faster by going down to Meridia first. But yeah, interesting how it played out. And then game one, I'm sure Eddie can speak on.
Yeah. So I kind of wanted to ask, Nevdi, did you, after the game one, here's the funny thing. I think you were both probably a little checked out in game one. Nevdi, I know you were pretty checked out of that one, especially looking for another hollow and finding 2 power bombs. But like, I don't know if you know, but essentially, Osse had a really strong route. Like so much so that even if you first tried that Ridley, I don't think it would have been very close.
No, I worked that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So did you by any chance get to like? Did you know any of that basically? Because I think there's to some extent you have a game like that and you lose a close race. I think you feel really bad, but I think there's some solace in knowing that like, okay, the route my opponent took was just gonna win no matter what. Makes you feel like you didn't really like miss out, if that makes sense. But I don't know if that helped you or made you think differently. I don't know what both of you were thinking in the situations where you were dying. Osse took a really big death, so I don't know. I'd like to know what Osse thought too when he took that huge death.
I'm fine. Oh, sorry, Osse, you go.
I felt that my route was really strong, and the only real-time loss was to the awkwardness of the map of getting back to Ridley. But that was like unavoidable. And then I take a really big death. I felt like I could have, like the route was good enough that I could have sidetracked for a save or something. After Kraid, I was going to take the save, but just I think forgot, and that would have cut the loss in half. But like the route, it got the good items early. It got enough E-tanks on path that I didn't have to worry about Varia too much.
Yes.
So it just felt really strong.
I actually have 2 questions for you after that game, and then I'll ask Nevdi maybe a similar question. So, first of all, were you when you went to check the 2 majors after the death, Osse, were you feeling a little sick when you found bombs in space jump?
I was. There was supposed to be the 2 more out of the way majors. Than than the Shack Tool and the screw attack room ones.
So then the question I have for both of you, in this case, so Osse, you chose to delay the Fantoon. I'm wondering what the thought was on that. And then Nevdi, you got a few missiles and then you went back to Fantoon pretty quickly. I think there is a world where you can grab the Precious Major in Criteria, but both of you actually skipped that. I'm wondering kind of what the thought process was behind both of those.
So I went back because I knew the map was pretty much dead at that point, and I'm like, okay, there's only going to be X-ray Gauntlet, and then maybe there's something behind screw attack. But I'm like, it's likely that I'm not going to care about it anyway. And then when I go back and I see it, I'm like, nah, I'm not getting that. I've got 1 tank, I got a double power bomb, and I got a springboard jump, and I got to run through the room, and I don't have high jump boots, so it wasn't even a question for me. I don't know if Osse had high jump at the time, but it was just not doable for me. I thought,
oh, okay. And then after you got the high jump, you didn't think about going back for it at that point. You're like, nah, forget it. Okay, got it.
Nah, forget it. Yeah.
I guess Osse, you chose, like, at that point you were thinking, I'm just going to commit to finding the resources to kill Ridley.
By the time I got back to Fantoon, like when I first got missiles, I just wanted to find more basic items first.
Okay.
Like the movement items, I'm not sure if we had all the ammos that early on. But I was looking for more fundamental items, and then head back afterwards. And then I just ran to gravity, and at that point it was fine to turn around at any point. But then the map just connected anyway. That was really interesting.
Got it.
But I'm back to earlier question, Eddie. It's kind of like there's just seeds that I'm not good at. I'm like, I tell you and talk to you all the time about it. Like Variolous seeds, like they're not, I'm investing my time elsewhere in stuff. And like, to be honest, I'm like relatively new in map render compared to area render. And obviously like I want to win, but I still think I overperformed. Like I still think 3rd place is above what I should expect. So like, you want to win the race, but I also feel like this is fine. Like, look, I got a Varia seed. I got exposed. I'm not good enough yet for that stuff. and then Osse just straight up beats me in game 2. So it's kind of like I'm happy. I'm
Yeah.
always happy when I lose. If I really had a good tournament and I got to a spot that I think that is reflective, and I think I surpassed what I should be, I think there's better players than me that probably could be above. So, rattled after the first game, but not really. Like I'm completely fine. I'm really happy with the tournament overall, and yeah, I just played normally in game 2 with no real issues.
Makes sense. Honestly, pretty strong performance. I think Osse just honestly, Osse played like a god today, so it's kind of hard.
We all go in waves, don't we? Like, I think we all know where we are. Like, we do weeks, and we're like, okay, I'm off this week. I think Oates is crushing every race this week or something like that. Osse's on this ridiculous streak. You were too, Eddie, and then you two had to verse. It's weird how it all works, and I have played better today than I have this week, so I'm happy.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, well, yeah, very, very good races. Congratulations, Nevdi, on making it this far. You did very well in the tournament. One of only, I believe, 2 people to score a perfect score in the qualifiers. And then, yeah, this unfortunately is the end of the tournament for you. But Osse is now moving on to the finals versus Zeb. So, how do you feel about that match coming up, Osse?
No, like already racing Nevdi, it feels like in the regular races that like the open races that we have, it feels like he could win in any one. But then Zeb feels the same way, so it's just gonna be another really difficult matchup.
Yeah, I think that should be a lot of fun to watch. I mean, you're both such strong players, and I do consider Zeb to be one of the top players, both you and Zeb. So it obviously it panned out and worked out to where you both are in the finals. So if you win the first best of 3, the bracket is reset, and then there's another best of 3. So hopefully we get a lot of matches.
No, it is that Zeb starts a game up.
Oh,
Street is a best of 5.
Yeah, it's very close to the same thing, but
okay.
Yeah. But he starts one game. Okay.
Yeah, that's almost
worthy grand final. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, makes sense. So hopefully we get a lot of games, and yeah, I'm sure they're going to be extremely entertaining. So good luck on that one.
Thanks heaps, guys, for the comms. Thanks, Osse, for the tournament. Best of luck. Zeb's my boy, so you know who I'm rooting for, man. But I still think you are the GOAT, Osse. So smash it, have fun, and all the best. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Nevdi.
Yep, thanks Eddie and Oates, and also WX Fan for taking care of commentary, and as well as Luna and tracking.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Oates, any final words, and then I'll take us out.
No, and like I said, just best of luck to both Osse and Zeb on the final. Really looking forward to those matches, and I hope that everyone watching enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so thanks everyone once again, as Oates said. And as Osse already thanked everyone here, so yeah, give the runners a follow. You can give us a follow too. And that's pretty much it. So Zeb and Osse are going to schedule their match. When is the final? I don't think we know yet, but I think Zeb is kind of tight on the schedule, so I think it'll be scheduled relatively soon. So you can go ahead and check out the. Let me see if I can drop this link here. So keep a look, take a look at this link, and whenever they get their match scheduled, you will see it, and that'll be it. So when that match is scheduled, make sure to tune in to see the finals. It's going to be a great match. These are, two of the best, some of the best map random players out there. So going to be great. Thank you once again, runners. Thank you, tracking, and that's it. GG. We'll see you next mission.